signing in. Let me know where you are. Let me just go ahead and share this live. Okay, here we go. Hey y'all, just give me a quick second. I'm sharing this live really quickly. I am super excited to be live. I know a lot of things I've done live. This is neat. Alright, y'all, bear with me. Let me just send. Let me just share this live, okay? Perfect. Hey guys, I'm super excited to be here. It's gonna go super few minutes anyway. Hey y'all. Alright, let's jump in. If you are new here, welcome my channel. I'm Shibivia, and on this channel I share lifestyle, transport, and business. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you some strategies and how you can plan your move to move abroad. If you are someone who has been thinking about possibly moving abroad, how to do that, you have a strong desire for a you just do that, right? And you're tired of happening in your head. And, people move abroad for all different types of things. And so, okay, I'm going to be sharing with you how you can make that dream become a reality. Before we dive in, let me know where you are tuning in from. And let me just share this live again over on my email list really quickly. And then we'll dive in, okay? We're going to dive in today. I'm going to be sharing with you guys how you can find your move abroad. So we're going to be talking about business strategies, how you can make businesses, different types of businesses, different things consider. Also, remote jobs, remote work, how you can get into remote work. It's really important. Whether you're solo traveler, and you're moving abroad with your family, me personally, I move abroad with family. And so I'll be sharing with you guys some of your personal stories, your personal journeys of moving abroad. And a lot of this you can take away whether you see Thailand or decide to see the region or abroad in general. So a lot of the information I'm going to be sharing to you now, you can take this with you. Okay? So again, in a moment, I'm just going to share this tool. By the way, in the meantime, if you guys have any questions, let me know. When you are doing it, say hello. Thank you. If you have anything to chat. because I've been like, so many times, like, I've been saying the other day that, I want to live. I just like pretend that I have not. It's not that I didn't really want to come live or feel like it's just like, like moving, transitioning, just different things happening. So that was not my priority. But I think going live is something that I'll be doing often because I really want to engage differently with my audience. So, all right, y'all. Okay, so let's talk about it. Right? Let's talk about how you can plan your mission. First of all, I want my experience and my journey with moving to Thailand and just what I have to live about. So just yesterday, I posted on my TikTok. Was it yesterday? Okay, sometime today, I posted on my TikTok talking about, some of the things that I love about living here in Thailand. And one of the things that I love about living in Thailand is the life of people, right? The people, we call it the land of not living here. The people are super helpful, it's very friendly, really nice with people. I love the culture, just overall the way of life, and I love that you, how you get tea or getting your tea is not completely contingent upon the bookstores, right? Or the bookstores, okay, you can walk down the street and there's probably going to be somebody selling some watermelon, some pineapple, some fresh fruit, some fresh veggies, right? Let me know if you guys can hear me, because my mic is actually not everywhere. Yeah, you're gonna have somebody selling fresh fruit, veggies, something of the sort, right? And so I love that sustainability that Thailand, right? I love how self-sufficient Thailand. That's one of the things I absolutely love about Thailand. Um, I'm gonna be sharing with you guys how you can handle move abroad. I actually have this guide. You guys can grab this guide for free, by the way. I'm gonna leave the link in the description. So this is a guide that I'm pretty much finished putting it together. The only thing is, I like to do my own graphics and all of that. And I'm going to eventually sell the guide later on. But you guys that, showed up on my live, if you're here, you can grab this guide for free. Okay? For free. It's a comprehensive guide for family or solo, expats, solo travelers wanting to move to Thailand particularly. But this guide can possibly be used if you're looking to move abroad in general. There are some tips and stuff you apply to moving there. Alright, so I'm going to share the link with you. Let me just share the link with you all. So that y'all can have it for free. I'll leave it in the chat. Yeah, so in this guide, it talks about two things. Homeschool, if you have children, if you're in international schools, having our list of ways and requirements you get that you have kids, with insurance, visas, finding housing, options on there. Those are the things about finding your move to Thailand. Sorry for the speed time here. I probably should flesh it out a bit. Maybe I'll flesh it out a bit in the future, but it's definitely a good starter guide. Let me just put it here in the chat. Let me know if you guys see it in the chat. So that's a free guide to, yeah, it's in the chat right now. So that's a free guide to moving to Canada. And I'm going to go over some of these things as well in the guide with you. Before I do that, one of the reasons why my family and I wanted to move abroad, for one, the change of scenery. We wanted to change of scenery. Y'all, I was tripped out of New York, if I'm going to be honest. Like, I had to do, like, my anxiety was up to I couldn't do it anymore. My husband was telling me. And so that's one, okay? Number two, so I said the change of scenery. Number two, the affordability of this part of the world. We love how affordable it is here. Also, we are on this journey. I don't know if you guys have heard of this whole FIRE journey, FIRE concept, financial independence early. And so our goal is to live in the ordinary, save and invest as much as we can while we're young, striving, earning all these things. That's what a big part into it as well. We love the quality of service that we get here. So the quality of service over here is like non-existent, right? And the overall quality of life, quality of food that you get here is almost incomparable, right, to the US. And so those are some of the reasons why we want to move here. Okay, so I dropped the free guide in the comments, so you can feel free to do that. Okay, which we're gonna go over in a second. We're gonna go over that. But yeah, those are some of the reasons I was like, let's go. Let's go to travel. I like to travel. I've been at this point I've been to like dozens of countries and countless cities. And Southeast Asia, there's just something special about Southeast Asia. You know, like we were torn between those and Bali and Indonesia. I don't know. I also love, I think I love Bali equally, so that was kind of like a special decision, but we'll be going back and forth, to Bali as well while we're here in Thailand, and that's what I love about this region. It's so easy to travel to different Southeast Asian countries with Asian countries, right? So much more affordable, and so much more accessible. It's just super cool around Southeast Asia. And yeah, I get off the so yeah, that's what I absolutely love about Southeast Asia. Okay, the accessibility to different countries and all that. But let's talk about how you can get prepared and prepare yourself to moving abroad. Okay, one of the first things is think about how you're going to downsize. Think about how you're going to downsize this stuff. A lot of times we don't realize how much stuff we have until it's time to actually use, right? I don't know if you ever noticed that. And so, and a lot of times we don't really need it because if you haven't used something in like a year, I mean, you really need it though. You know what I mean? So think about how you're going to downsize. Sell your stuff, donate your stuff, your Facebook marketplace. You are using research everything is Facebook marketplace, like literally everything. If you sold so much on Facebook marketplace, you'll be surprised what people are buying. Okay, you'll be surprised. Just any little knickknack. Okay, you can get so much money back from just selling your stuff. You need tons of not $100, but hundreds of dollars, even thousands of dollars. You just spending your stuff that you have to in storage, or you know, things that you're not using. So that's one of the things like downsizing. Some of you may have vehicles, stuff like that, and that I would say that's a huge part because that can be hard to let go of, right? Like having a vehicle because you're so used to um, driving in the US, it's too hard to let go of a vehicle, and it was kind of like hard to use it. That vehicle that I sold, I had it for like 6 years, right? And it was put off, but I love my Jeep. Okay? So anyway, I sold that, and even if you have, if you're making payments on a vehicle, you can still sell your vehicle even if you're making payments. Okay? Yes, you can. But no, this is one of the things I'm about. How you gonna get rid of your vehicle? You still have to. You can find like dealerships, the CarMax or like smaller dealerships who will do that whole process for you and give you like on the spot. They will inspect your vehicle, do all of that, evaluate it, and whatnot, and you get a check on the spot for the vehicle cost and for bring over to them. So you can actually sell your vehicle while you're making payments. Okay. Another thing is with storage. Don't be too quick to put things in storage. Okay, really think about if you have a huge things, you know, in the or whatever. Right? You know, so you don't want to like hold on to certain stuff. I guess that's fine, right? It depends on your priority, you know, what's really important to you. But don't be too quick to put everything in storage. Okay. So that's one, downsizing and selling stuff. Okay, number two, second thing that you want to do is set up like a mail forwarding, what do you call it, like address, right? One of those addresses that you can just have them scan mail. So if you got mail forwarded there, you can have them scan it to your email. You can have packages sent there, and you can have them so that you ship it. That can be a little bit expensive to overview, but you want to have some type of mail delivery address so that important email that may be still going to you or that you need to be. Okay, let me see if I have any. Okay, so there's a lot of static. I don't know why there's a lot of static. I may have to flip out this email. Let me see. Thanks for letting me know. Let me see. Mic check. Okay. All right. So I changed my microphone. Let me know. Let me know if you can hear me better. Let me know if my audio sounds better, if it sounds different from before. If it sounds much clearer now than before, let me know. Okay. I'll keep going in the meantime. All right, so yeah, you want to forward your mail and all that good stuff. Another thing is you want to consider something like a Wise card. I know right now like the Wise card is on hold because I guess they had like a lot of orders, but you can still get the app. So you can still sign up and get like the app. You can still do bank transfers, transfer money to different banks. And trust me, this is gonna come in handy. You may not be transferring money to yourself, but you may need it to transfer money to pay people, whether that's like a landlord, a you may show up to a restaurant or something and I don't know, don't have cash on you. You thought they accepted debit cards. That has happened to us before. And we were able to use the Wise app to send money directly to their bank account. So having that type of you know, some type of platform. Plus, with the Wise platform, it does like currency exchanges, stuff like that. I love, 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 love using Wise, especially now as we're still, unfortunately, navigating and figuring out this whole business bank account here. We're probably going to try to see if we can get a facilitator or like an agency to help us with that because apparently the type of visa that we have, it's like because it's a newer visa, it just came out this year, literally like July, and we jumped on it. And because of that, I think banks don't have like specific regulation around how to go about opening accounts for people with this type of visa. Okay, so they're only really familiar with like the other types of visa, the long term ones, the retirement ones, but not the one that we have. All right, a lot of statics cards here. Okay, so can you hear me better now? I don't know if Candy left, but I wanted to know if you can hear me better now. Can you hear me better, y'all? Because I heard that I had static earlier. And Sheena says she's from, oh, hey, Sheena. Hey, girl. Hey, greetings from Dallas. Funny enough, we moved from Dallas. We left to, and came to Thailand from Dallas. That's where we were living. Hey, hey. What part of Dallas are you from or living in? By the way, let me know, you guys, if you can hear me clearly. Okay, please let me know if I'm gonna be talking and you can't hear me. Let me know, you guys. I'm probably gonna be here for an hour and then jump off. You said yes, you can hear me. Okay, great. As long as I don't sound too static. Okay, great. You're in Irving. Okay. Okay, cool. I used to go to church there in the Irving area. Nice. Dallas in the house. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. All right. So, yes, this Wise card is going to save the day. I'm telling you, I love having the Wise card. Now, again, they may not have it available by the time you apply for it, but again, you can still get the app. I don't know what's going on with the orders right now. They probably have a lot of people, I guess a lot of people are moving abroad, I guess, and getting this Wise card. But get some type of alternative. Because let me tell you what my husband did, y'all. Let me tell you what this man did, okay? And this is another quick tip. He went to the ATM. He went to the ATM to take money out. And I guess I don't really pay attention to that because I don't really go to the ATM. I've never really gone to the ATM a lot is what I should say, right? I don't really take cash out like that. So I guess I didn't realize the difference here. It's like you get your card last, apparently, but in the US, it's like you get your card first. And this man forgot the debit card, okay, in the ATM. By the time he went back, I guess it was gone, right? And so the issue with that is, especially if you're a solo traveler and you only have one debit card with you, you're kind of screwed, right? Then you're gonna have to figure out how you're gonna get money out of the ATM. You don't have a debit card. You can't just go down the street to your local bank, your Chase or whichever, your local credit union, to take money out or get a new card. Okay. And so that's why you also want a mail forwarding uh, virtual address. You can use like iPostal. So I've talked about iPostal on my YouTube channel before as kind of like a virtual address for business, but I don't really recommend it for a virtual address for a business anymore for different reasons. Like you're gonna have problems putting that address on like an application, stuff like that. But if you're using it for personal stuff, iPostal, just sign up. It's like maybe $9.99 a month, $14 a month, something like that. You can get your mails scanned. So at least you have like a local, statewide address. Okay. And so I said that to say that's why you want that. Lose a card or something like that, you can have it shipped to that iPostal address, and then they can ship it to you internationally. Okay, especially if your bank does not ship internationally. Some banks do. I think some banks ship internationally just in case. Okay, but yeah, and I was so upset, you guys. But luckily, like we use the same accounts, and so that was his card and I had mine, tied to the same account. So that was good. And then also we have had the Wise card. So with the Wise card, you can instantaneously transfer money from your, bank accounts that you have into this Wise account. You can convert the currency. So if you're in Thailand, if you're in Indonesia, Bali, Indonesia, if you're in different parts of Europe, you can convert money from people, send it to yourself, take the money out. It's just amazing, y'all. It's so amazing. I love Wise. And so yeah, thankfully we have that. So get you a backup like card. Don't just have, or at least have, get a couple of debit cards. I don't know if they do that, if they can issue multiple debit cards. I'm pretty sure, just in case, and have one like that's kept at home, just in case you lose your stuff and stuff like that. Okay, so thank me later. Thank me later, y'all. Get you a backup card. So get you a Wise card. So we talked about that. Packing checklist. Again, you can get this guide. Let me give you guys the link in the chat, in the comments guide. You can get this for free, okay? So that you are prepared to move abroad. And you can also use this guide to move pretty much anywhere. If you're moving to different parts of Europe, there's some essentials in here that you can use anywhere that you're moving to. Get you some citronella, okay? Get you some citronella and lemongrass. It's going to be your best friend, especially when it comes to like mosquitoes and stuff like that. Okay, you don't want no dengue fever. But they also have shots for dengue fever, stuff like that. But citronella, lemongrass is going to be your best friend. Mosquitoes, they don't like citronella and lemongrass. So what we do is we have, very potent citronella. We mix it with like coconut oil. You can mix it with coconut oil and water. That's going to be your natural, homemade remedy for a bug spray. So you don't have to always go out and buy a bug spray. Because what I find as well is that things like bug spray, sunscreen, those, even though you're in a lower cost part of the world, those type of things are more expensive. And you can make your own sunscreen at home too, using like shea butter and stuff like that. All right, and then you also want like portable adapters. I think the adapters that they use here in Thailand is the same one that they use in like Europe, UK. So yeah. And what else? Banking. So I was talking about that earlier with like finding a bank. You may have to go through a facilitator if you're going to come on like a DTV type of visa, the one that we have, which is a remote, allows us to work here remotely in Thailand, whether as a business owner, as an employee for a foreign country meaning outside of Thailand. Okay. And it allows us to do that for 5 years. So it's a 5-year visa, but it does require us to, let's see, somebody said something. Yeah, it's a 5-year visa. And one of the reasons why we opt to get the visa versus like doing the whole border run thing, you can do that too. So I know a lot of expats who do this. They go in and out, right, based on like on the tourist visa. So I think right now things are always changing, but you can come into Thailand on a tourist visa for like 60 days, I believe. You can probably get a 30-day extension. And so after that, you kind of have to leave and come back. That's fine. But because we plan on being here for a little while, at least 2 years, maybe 3 years, maybe the full 5 years and beyond, I don't know, we'll see. But we wanted something more long lasting. The one we have though, it still does require us to leave every like 6 months, unless we request for an additional like 6 months to be extended so that we don't have to leave. Okay, so the visa allows us to be here, like I said, for 5 years, but every 6 months. I think I guess they don't want you to, I don't know what the reasoning is behind every 6 months, but at least it gives us a way longer time than, every 3 months or every 30 days or whatever. And so with that, you can leave really quickly, which we don't have a problem with, because I actually intend on traveling throughout like Southeast Asia while we're living here. So that was the goal anyway, like every few months to go somewhere else, maybe Vietnam, Malaysia, Philippines, Singapore, so in this case, it's kind of like, yeah, we're forced to leave for a little bit, but it's okay. And again, if something were to happen and it's like we don't want to leave, after 6 months pass, we can just say, hey, let's extend it for another 6 months before you have to leave. Yeah, with banking, the best banks, you have like KBank, Bangkok Bank. Those are like expat friendly banks. But still, we're still not able to find the ideal branch, right? Because there's so many here. There's so many banks here, and we've already been to, quite a few. So, okay, let's see what else. Let me know if you guys have any questions in the meantime as well, as I go through this list of moving abroad. Oh, and another thing is with remote jobs, okay? So by the way, if you're new here, welcome. I'm Shibivia. On this channel, I share lifestyle, side hustle, and business gems that quality of your life and business. All right, I recently moved abroad to Bangkok, Thailand with my family. Family is my husband and our now 1 month old. Okay, and we made this move 2 months ago. I think at this point we moved August, like late August, and yeah, we're living life abroad now, which is so exciting. So if this type of content sounds like something that you're interested in, you're thinking about moving abroad and whatnot, be sure to subscribe, okay, and hit that notification bell as well, so that way whenever I post a new video, you will be the first to know. Okay, so I don't do a lot of these videos. Content is mostly on like how to make extra money with side hustles, business stuff, how to build business credit. But I also incorporate a lot of lifestyle stuff in the next like couple of days and
couple weeks, you will see more like lifestyle videos, like vlogs and stuff like that with my family, things that we're doing here in Bangkok, like things to know, needs to know, like places to visit, stuff like that. I love sharing. Okay, I love sharing, and that's why I have this YouTube channel. So look out for those types of videos. And I think now that I'm living here, I know a lot of people have questions because I know I posted in a group, a couple of groups like Move Abroad group and stuff like that. And we all have questions. Like I have questions about a lot of things about living abroad and whatever, right? So I'm here to help. I'm here just to like share my journey and help you guys have a smooth transition and a good experience with moving abroad, because it's a lot of things to know. We can't know it all, right? And so I'm just here sharing my experience, not necessarily as this expert, right? I know some stuff, I've traveled a lot, but just sharing my experience with you all, okay? So if this type of content sounds good to you, be sure to subscribe. All right, so we talked about the visa. The DTV visa now is one of the newest visas for Thailand and a lot of different parts of the world. So if you're interested in like moving to Europe, maybe you're interested in moving to like Spain, or is a particular place that a lot of people are moving to, they have programs and like remote working programs that you can do. Now, talking about visa and remote working visa, digital visa, all of that stuff, how do you get a remote job? Okay, also in that free guide that I shared with you guys a while ago, it will have another link to get my free remote guide. Okay, how to land remote work fast. I've listed in that guide like, if not dozens of remote like work, remote companies that you can look into, remote jobs, and not only that, but how you can effectively land a remote job. Okay, I go over like resume writing, I believe, in that guide, and some tips and tricks. So it's okay, and it's free. So yeah, download the guide, get the guide. And so that guide will help you land remote job fast, or remote work fast, I should say. So if you're someone who you work at a physical job, like you have to physically clock in, that may be your concern. How is it that you're going to move abroad? How is it that you're going to earn money? And that's something that you can look into, is remote work. Okay, I can give you a site right now called We Work Remotely. Okay, the site is called We Work Remotely, and they have tons of remote working jobs on there. And there's tons of different like sites. You can go to Indeed to find remote jobs. I can't think off the top of my head right now. It's been a long time like applied for jobs, but my husband, he's still kind of like in that field. He works remotely and he's so good. He's really, really good at like applying for jobs, finding jobs, and getting his application landed, or getting his application in the right people's laps. Okay, and that's what you want. So in the guide, I think I kind of go over some tricks of how to optimize your resume and position yourself to land in certain people's lap. Also, right now, you guys, honestly, okay, I'm not gonna tell you to downgrade your income and that you don't have to make this money and all of these things. But truthfully, guys, if you're planning on moving to a place like Southeast Asia, right, to a place like Thailand, to a place like maybe Bali, Indonesia, different parts of Europe, you don't really need to make $30 and $40 per hour. You can easily make $15 per hour and be okay, because the cost of living is like significantly lower here. It's like a fraction, right? Especially, excuse me, right now in the US, like things cost like, I think maybe, everything I think costs at least minimum twice, 2 to 4 times as much as like here, places like here. So you can start out with like a lower paying. Some people I know take job cuts, and you. Where's my Thai tea? I was drinking Thai tea earlier. You can start out with like a lower paying job, right? Whether it's like a call center, customer service job. There's so many of those types of jobs out there. But also, you may be fortunate enough to get a remote job in your field, the field that you are an expert in, right? So whether you work in healthcare, there are tons of like remote types of jobs in the healthcare field, right? In the tech field, of course, customer service field, like every field that you can think of, they need remote workers for something. So, yeah, let's see. Where are my live people at today? I don't know, maybe I chose the wrong time to come live. Everybody's back to work, I think, from lunch. I jumped on here a little bit later too. So I'm like, I don't know where y'all are at. But anyway, we're still here, and I guess you guys can always watch this after. Right. So anyway, if you're new here, again, I'm Shibivia. And on this channel, I share lifestyle, side hustle, and business gems. And today we're talking about steps that you can take to move abroad, whether as a solo person, an expat, or someone planning to move abroad with your family. We're talking about how you can land remote job fast to get remote jobs. And I'm also going to be sharing with you some side hustles as well that you can do remotely to earn money to move abroad. Because y'all, if you're paying attention, if you're not living under a rock right now, I'm sure y'all see what's happening in the US right now, right? There's a lot happening, from the safety aspect of it, which is huge, right? The safety aspect of it, to just living, like how chaotic it is. And, to the inflation, the economy, to everything. Like, things just have gotten so much worse, like from the healthcare, like, or experience with, the healthcare system. Outside of even the cost, that's one thing, but it should have access to affordable and high quality healthcare and housing. I believe that, okay, wholeheartedly, those two things. But in America, it's like it's all a scam with healthcare, and that's another topic for itself, right? Fortunately for my family, because as someone who served in the Air Force, I had like military insurance as a reservist, by the way, so it wasn't free, but it wasn't a lot that we were paying. But just still, the experience with claims and going through the medical system is not the best, right? But overall, a lot of people I hear are paying like $500, $1,000, $1,500 just for like basic healthcare. It's like, it doesn't make sense, right? The average working people, we're talking about average working people here. I'm not talking about multimillionaires. Okay, I'm talking about average people who make anywhere between maybe $3,500 to, well, maybe they'll have access to some other type, but maybe like from $4,000 to maybe $7,000, $8,000 a month, right? Average people. I don't see how that math makes sense with also the cost of housing being high. Like, why should an average person pay $1,000, $1,500 just for insurance, or even $500 for insurance, right? That just doesn't sound right to me. And at the same time, you have like these deductibles and stuff like that, and co-pays. It just doesn't make sense. So yeah, the healthcare industry money-making industry in America. It's not meant to really serve its people, unfortunately. It's really not. It's not meant to serve the people. It's meant to take take from the people, okay, and get what they can get. So that's very unfortunate. So yeah, it's just a lot, y'all. It's just a lot happening. So that's why I think a lot of people are looking to move abroad. And like what I said earlier, it's not even just average people. It's like multimillionaires too, and people who consider themselves wealthy who live abroad. Because for one, wealthy people love to be able to put more money in their portfolio and all of that, but also the quality of life that you get here, right? It's like it feels good to pay significantly more. So it's not just a lower cost of living, but it's the quality. You're getting better. Like the other day, we went to the dentist, which I'm going back with my husband tomorrow. But the service was phenomenal, you guys. In and out, like they were so professional. It was such a great experience. They were so clean, professional, sterile. Like we had no doubts about anything. We felt very confident about like the service and everything. And come to find out, y'all, so my husband did unfortunately, he had to do a root canal while he was in the US. And he did that root canal, and that man was hurting for like weeks. When he did the root canal, when he was done with it, weeks upon weeks. And every now and then he would feel like pain. So when we came here to Bangkok, a couple weeks ago or last week, he went to see if he can just remove everything, because he keeps getting this recurring pain and everything. So came to find out, the root canal failed. So that's another situation we're going to try to see how we can, uh, you know, dispute that issue and all that. I won't say too much on here, but he had a failed root canal, y'all. And honestly, the experience that my husband had when he was telling me about this entire experience, how the lady with the dentist, she in America, she was saying, oh, like she seemed very unsure, and we still kind of like, okay, we went with it. I didn't feel good about it at all. I did not feel good about it, and he still ended up having it done, and to find out that it was a failed root canal. Here in Bangkok, they were able to tell us, everything that was happening. The It was so much. It was even way affordable as well, right? Like more affordable than in the US. It cost in total, I think it was like 100 and I think it was like $170 for both of us to. I did my cleaning. Okay, I got a really good deep cleaning. I didn't get any teeth whitening or anything like that, but I got a good cleaning. I got x-rays done just to double check to make sure that, my mouth is good or whatever. Thankfully, I don't. And he did like x-rays. He got antibiotics for this procedure that he was going to do to remove the teeth and everything. So they gave him like the medications beforehand. We didn't even have to go to another pharmacy to pick the stuff up. Okay, that's the type of experience that we had. They had everything ready right then and there. Okay. And it was just such a great experience, y'all. And everything came up to $170 something cash. Okay, this is without insurance, anything like that. Just cash to do all of that, for them to check his mouth, do x-rays, and all of that, right? So that's why there's such a thing called medical tourism. A lot of people go to different countries, not just Thailand, but like parts of the world, get their medical needs taken care of. Because, like I said, in America, it's such a greed type of thing, money making type of thing. It should not be that way, even for wealthy people, even for the rich. It's like, the American healthcare system is only for, apparently, I guess it's for like multi-millionaires, not really for like the everyday average people. And so that's why there's such a thing as medical tourism, because you get better quality. So it's not just that it costs less, but it's better quality. Y'all, when we were in Bali, Indonesia, and my husband, not my husband, but my son, I guess he had like stomach, issues. He was trying to get used to, I guess, the bacteria there and stuff like that. And we were just a little bit worried, new parents, you're worried about everything. And to the emergency room, the children's hospital, we took him to a children's hospital. And the experience was night and day. It was night and day. My husband and I were interviewed on a podcast the other day. I think oh my gosh, I don't want to say the wrong name of the podcast, but D Abroad, H&D Abroad, I think. And we were sharing this experience, right? So it was night and day from our experience from in Dallas. When we went to Dallas, when we took our son to the Dallas Hospital, Children's Hospital, Dallas Children's Hospital, okay? It was such a horrible experience, you guys. It was such a horrible experience. I couldn't believe it. And it was already late at night. And we just wanted our son to be seen, to look at, to make sure he was okay. All right. We checked the desk, fine. The norm. You check in, they get your ID, they check to see if you have insurance, what insurance you have, blah, blah, blah. Okay. We did that. Then we sat down. Then another lady called us up. Okay. She called us up and she asked me the same stuff, like what's happening, blah, blah, blah. And she seemed a little bit annoyed, a little bit. I was trying to explain to her what was happening, with her son. And she was like typing, like, okay, and fine. So we sat back down. And then we got called again, and they were basically checking his vitals at this point and all of these things. Okay. We sat back down. Then they called us back. Finally, we're gonna be seen now. We went back there. Somebody else came asking us the same questions. I'm not even making this up. So this is person number 4, okay, that we've seen since we checked in. Asked us the same question, blah, blah, blah. I really don't know what the point was of that. I really thought we were going to see the pediatrician at that point. And so after that, then somebody else came. I'm kidding you not, you guys. I'm not even making this up. This person came and they basically were asking us again for our IDs. Our IDs. This is the 5th person, I guess, 5th person at this point. When we checked in with the first person that we saw, we already gave this 5th person wanted our ID again and was asking us questions. And then another guy came before the doctor. Like, what was the point of that? It's just the filled time. It's just the, like, what is that? What was that for? And then we finally saw the doctor. And then, they had us do like this x-ray and stuff. In Bali, okay, here in Southeast Asia, night and day experience. And hopefully we never have to really go to the children's hospital while we're in Bangkok. But if we do, I can guarantee you it's not going to be anything like that, okay? So in Bali, when we went to the hospital, right? We walked, the nurse saw us, and well, actually, yeah, what happened was we walked in, we weren't really sure exactly where we were going. And so the nurse saw us. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. My husband up here making all this noise. He see me doing this live. Trying to take some comforter. Oh my goodness. By the way, it's like, what time is it? It's like midnight over here. So I'm live for y'all. It's like 12:27 a.m. midnight. Okay, but I was shooting some content for my YouTube video, and so I was like, it's been a while since I've been live, so let me, come on here. And I napped earlier. So anyway, in Bali, we walked in. The nurse immediately saw us. He noticed that we weren't really sure where to check in, and so he walked over to us. Immediately, he was like, "Is everything okay?" And I was telling him, "Hey, our baby is here. Trying to figure out if he's okay and all that." Immediately, he started checking his vitals. He didn't. His first response wasn't, "Oh, you need to go check in right now. Go check in over there." He was genuinely concerned with the baby, and he immediately started checking his vitals and everything. And then he was like, "Okay, he seems like he's fine. Just go upstairs and check in properly so that you can see the pediatrician, because the pediatrician is still here." So we went upstairs, checked in, and it didn't even feel like a hospital at that point upstairs. It felt like this executive like suite or something. So anyway, we checked in. We were able to see the pediatrician in like 30 minutes, y'all. It was really fast. They checked him and everything was fine and all of that, and got him some, I guess, some drops or whichever. And the pharmacy was literally down the hall in the same building, just around the corner. And they immediately put everything in, and the prescription was already ready in like 5 minutes. By the time we were done seeing the doctor, it felt like that. It felt like by the time we were done seeing the pediatrician and we walked out and got our slip to say, okay, we saw him, we immediately went around the corner and picked up our medication for our baby. So we didn't even have to go somewhere else. And that's what I love. Um, Over here, it's so convenient, like have like the pharmacies within these hospitals. And so if you're thinking you're gonna come here to Southeast Asia or Bangkok or wherever and think that you're not going to get a high quality or a good quality healthcare, I'm telling you, that's a big misconception. All right, you have to come here and experience it for yourself. Like, even if you visit, just go to the hospital to see. What I love too about here is that you can get an entire panel checked done, like blood work, stuff like that done, without having to schedule an appointment for 2 months down the line. In the US, is like, if it's not a life or death death situation, right? If it's not dire, then we're not doing this. We're not doing an entire blood screening to make sure that you don't have, there's no possibility for these issues, that your insurance is not paying for that. And over here, whether in Malaysia, different parts of Southeast Asia, you can have that done like this, like today. Like, you can schedule it and have it done in like a few hours, and maybe like 4 hours for maybe a couple $100 or something like that. There's no way you'll get that in the US. You have to be dying literally for them to do that, or for your insurance to approve that. So it's really night and day when it comes to the healthcare. And I don't know why it's not the standard, because America, they sell us this thing that is such a great country, and it can be, it really can be, but I feel like they're just missing the mark when it comes to a lot of those things. So anyway, I'm jumping off my soapbox. The healthcare, you can definitely get better healthcare, better quality, and for more affordable money. If you want healthcare insurance wherever you're moving, you can look into getting like that local health insurance wherever you're moving to, local private insurance or something, because the public insurance I don't know, it depends on where you're going, but it may not be the best. But definitely get some type of health insurance. And we, especially in the beginning as well, we have used Safety Wing. We still have Safety Wing. We still use it. It has been great. We did use it for our son with that experience in at the Children's Hospital that I shared with you guys earlier, and they refunded us in like maybe 3 days. In like 3 days, they gave us our money back. We filed the claim, submitted the medical stuff, the report, and we got our money back. And by the way, that visit that we had for my son, with seeing the pediatrician, the consultation, getting the, I guess, the probiotics or drops or whatever they gave us, the medication stuff, all of that came up to only like, I think $70, 70 US dollars. And I submitted my claim and I got my money back in like 2 days, y'all, from Safety Wing. We got our entire money back. Okay. Like in the US, you still have to pay like some copay and you're not getting that money back. Okay. Forget that. Okay. So yeah, we had such a great experience with using Safety Wing. I also used it in Bali when I had Bali Belly. If you guys have been following me, you may have seen that. Unfortunately, when we just moved to Bali, just went to Bali like 3 days after, that was in August, I got Bali Belly, even though I felt like taking the precautionary measures, right? I always wash my hands before I eat, but it's not even just your hands, it's like the food, it's probably like the bacteria and how things are washed as well. So it depends on certain fruits and stuff like that, how it's cut. It could also be that. But anyway, got Bali Belly, had to had to have an emergency house call with a I found this house call IV doctor or a service, and I did that. And I actually was talking to the doctor on WhatsApp, y'all. I was talking to the actual doctor on WhatsApp, and they had their nurse come out. So I did an entire IV thing where it was infused with like vitamins, probiotics, all that good stuff. Our English was really well as well. I think a lot of medical professionals here, like in Thailand and like Bali, they speak pretty well English. And like even though I don't expect them to, there's like Google Translate. If they don't, I mean, I'm in their country. Okay. I speak English, they don't. That's fine. That English is not their local language, right? So there's Google Translate. But anyway, it's nice that they also speak the language well. And so there's no real barrier with that in the medical system. So anyway, the nurse spoke English well. She explained everything that she was doing with all the IVs, the probiotics, all of these things. And she gave me like activated charcoal. Definitely get that. That's on the list of things to get in moving abroad or just traveling abroad. So if you have stomach issues, if you're not getting along well with the food, stuff like that, your probiotics is going to be your best friend as well. Your probiotics, it will help flush everything out of you that does not need to be there. Okay, that's not mixing the bad bacteria, and get activated charcoal. So anyway, she gave me some of that and it worked wonders. Okay, that cost, ready for the total of that experience, that entire thing, that house call, okay, experience, IV service was like 128 US dollars with all that she gave me and everything. I submitted my claim to Safety Wing and the link as well. So I dropped, and you will find my free guide to moving to Thailand, but you can also apply it to moving to wherever in the world, really. There are a lot of things that you'll be able to apply. And so I was able to submit it to a Safety Wing and they gave me my money back. I literally, and again, what I love about Safety Wing, y'all, you can get it after you've traveled on the plane. Like after you get to your location, you can get it anytime. So we actually got that after we got to Bali, like the second day. And by the next day, literally by the next day, I had to use it. They didn't care about that. They weren't like, oh, you had to wait this deductible, this whatever, you have to use this much money. It was none of that. Okay, got Safety Wing today, and I got my money back in like 3 days. The full thing, the full 128 US dollars, I got it back. All right, so Safety Wing is so worth it. And I'm just like, it's just night and day. Like the healthcare system and experience is just night and day with the US. So yeah, y'all. I'm super just. I'm sure you guys can hear like my passion, right? Because I truly am passionate about it, and that's why we moved here. Okay, so get you some good health insurance, safety wing. They have different ones now. You can get like the standard, like regular type of health insurance, but also you can get like it also covers like travel emergencies, stuff like that. So if we were delayed, if I or be airlifted or whatever, it covers that too. Okay, so I love safety wing, y'all. Now I know why people like it so much. Oh, also, safety wing covers you in over like I think 80 countries. So if I'm going back to Bali, or when we go back to Bali, or if I'm going to Vietnam, which we will eventually go to Vietnam for a little bit, I can just go in there and say, hey, I'm going to be in Vietnam for this time. Boom. There's nothing else that I really need to do. So it covers you everywhere. Like, how cool is that? So, anyway, I have that link in the free guide. So, we talked about, by the way, if you're just joining me, I'm Shibivia. On this channel, I share lifestyle, side hustle, and business gems that can help you improve the quality of your life and business, and sharing with you steps that you can take to move abroad, how you can move abroad, how you can better prepare yourself to move abroad. Okay, and I'm sharing some of my personal experience with moving abroad with my family, and just some quick tips and need to knows for moving abroad, particularly to Thailand. But a lot of these things you can apply if you're moving anywhere, whether to different parts of Europe, whichever. And earlier as well, I shared, well, in my free Thailand guide. Again, this is just for y'all because in the future I may sell this guide. Um, but for you guys, it's free because you're on this live. Go get it in that guide. I also have a free moving to, no, not moving to, but remote work. How to land remote work fast that I created as well. So if you're someone who is looking to move abroad, but you have like a physical job that you're going into, you want to figure out how you can take your work remotely, I have that in there as well. Okay, so feel free to grab that. And let me know, y'all, if you have any questions. I feel like I've been just talking. So say hi, hello if you're here. Let me know where you're joining in from. Okay, so that we can connect. I want to connect with my audience more. I've been on here for like an hour now, so I don't know. I'll probably jump on in like a couple minutes. But another must-haves. So when you come to Thailand, different parts of Asia too. That's one of the things, like Southeast Asia. Some of the things that you resources, stuff like that, and systems that you'll use in one country, a lot of times you can use it in like other countries as well. But in Thailand, you're going to be using like your Grab for Uber. So instead of Uber and Lyft, you're going to be using Grab, and it's so much more affordable. My husband keeps trying to get me to get on the Grab bike, but I refuse. I'm not one of those girlies. I'm sorry. I'm not getting on nobody's bikes. Like, I've heard too much stories, and it's done seen people jack their legs up and of being on those bikes. I'm not saying that something will happen to me. I trust that it will be fine, especially if I'm just driving local, but it's just hard for me to get around going on a bike. They call it scooters here, but it's kind of just like a bike. Because where we live, like up and down the street, like to like True Digital Park and stuff like that, it's not that crazy busy. But I don't know. But anyway, grab. You can get taxis, like cars. It's just that sometimes it depends on the time of day. It can be a little bit busy, like traffic, so it can take longer for you to get to places. But especially with us, with our baby and everything, if we're going anywhere as a family, it's going to be a Grab car, or we'll take the BTS, which is like the subway sky train system here, which is super neat. It's very clean, nothing like New York. It's not giving New York subway. Okay, I'm sorry. It's very clean and people are very respectful on there and people just mind their business. They get on, they get off. You know, people don't can eat, like bring food and stuff like that on there. And I think that's one of the reasons why it's so clean as well. And they also have designated seats for like older people, disabled people, if you're pregnant, if you have children with you, they have designated seats and people will get up. This one lady, y'all, was it? Yeah, this one lady, she was older, like she was older and she actually got up for us. And another time we experienced this older lady got up for um, a mom and her child, and the mom was like, "No, no, no, it's okay, it's fine," you know, because she's older too. So, and Libby was like, "No, it's okay, take the seat." Like people are so polite and like considerate here, you know, and I love how they prioritize like families and everything here. So I love about Southeast Asia. Even malls, like in the bathrooms, like in Jakarta, when we went to Jakarta, Indonesia, to finalize our visa process to come here to Thailand, because we were in Bali at the time as well. The malls, they have these huge like nursing rooms. Like one of them blew my mind in Jakarta because it was so big. It was separate from the regular restroom. It was this huge, it was like a nursery. It was like a huge nursery with all these private stalls. So if you're a nursing mom, you're like breastfeeding, you can go in there, you can change your baby, you can sit down, your entire family can be there. And I met this lady, she was there with her nanny, she was there with her mom, and we had a great conversation. And she was from Jakarta. She spoke English well as well. And she was telling how having a nanny there is like, you know, a standard for like working moms and stuff. And she was like, yeah, it is a standard to have stuff like this, like nursing um, rooms and stuff like that. And I was like, wow, you know, wow. So yeah, I love how they prioritize families here in Southeast Asia. So yeah, what was I saying? Grab. Okay, Grab. So you're gonna want Grab. Download Grab before you get here. If you're just planning on visiting, download Grab. Google Translate is gonna be your best friend. So if you're having conversation with people, um, and you know if there's like a barrier, a language barrier, you can use Google Translate. You can speak into it, and you can have people speak into it as well. So it's super cool. Lazada, you're gonna use Lazada and like Shopee, like Amazon over here. Well, let me tell you, you're gonna fall in love with those sites because things are way more affordable. It's like way cheaper here. Okay, so the same things you find on Amazon, you're gonna find it here in Thailand for less, unlike Lazada. Everybody uses Lazada here, okay? You may not get it same day like Amazon, or maybe not the next day, but hey, you know, you'll get it. You get it in maybe like 3-4 days. It will tell you. It will tell you exactly like when to expect it to. So which is nice. So also you're gonna need that currency app, XE. I like the XE currency app because you can add a whole bunch of different currencies, and you know, because it may take you some time to really learn the conversion you're going to. So having like an app that you can go to real quick, like if you're just in the middle of, you know, you may have had a long day and you can't really do math right now, just plug it in the XC conversion app and it will tell you exactly how much US dollars or whatever this is. So definitely get a currency conversion app, XC, and also the Wise app that I shared with you guys earlier. If you were with me earlier, I talked about how having that Wise card, or at least the Wise app, is gonna change the game for you. It's gonna be a lifesaver. So yeah, the Wise app, you can do currency conversions in there and send money in the local currency to local bank accounts, stuff like that. So definitely consider that. I have also the link in the free guide. And so let's see. And visa options. So if you're going to come here if you're over 50, they have a retirement visa that you can look into. If you're younger than 50, you can look into the digital nomad, the DTV visa. They just launched that this year in July, and there's like minimum requirements with that, but I won't get into that too much. You can definitely look it up, but they require you to have like a certain amount of money in your bank account and just prove that you have like a remote job, something like that. Okay. And you can also have a business as well. So if you can prove that you employ yourself, like on letterhead, that hey, you are employed, this is your position, you work remotely, stuff like that, you can get it as well. Yeah, you can get apps like italki and finding housing. Let's talk about finding housing. So when you come here or anywhere, when you go to any country, you may want to like maybe get an Airbnb first and scout out the area, see what's close by based on what's a priority to you. So if you are somebody who, gym is important to you, a local cafe, a grocery store, whatever, local market, stuff like that, you want to kind of before just kind of like just coming, not just coming, before you like secure something and then come. You can by all means do that too, especially if you've been here before, you kind of know the area. But if you have not been in a country, I say go temporarily, like book an Airbnb or something for 2 weeks, scout the area out and see if you even like that area. Or personal experience, I'll share with you guys what we did, and we ended up securing something before we came here. Not something that I really recommend. We have no regrets actually. I don't recommend it because, again, if you don't know the area, you don't want to lock into something and send money and you don't even know if the people that you're sending money to is like trustworthy. All that goes into it. It depends on where you're moving to as well. But one of the reasons why we did it is because, well, for one, I had faith. Okay, I trust God. Okay, I trust in Jesus, and I believe that everything was going to work out. That's number one. Quickly, number two is securing a condo, a house. Securing housing in Bangkok is very like competitive and fast. If you find something that you like, you best believe that it's gonna go, but you don't even really have tomorrow to think about it. It's not like the US where you go to look at like an apartment, a place, whatever, and you may have like a week to think about it, to compare, blah, blah, blah. It's not like that here, y'all. You literally have to like make up your mind and decide if you want this place or not. Otherwise, it's going to be a waste of time. Like, make sure you have everything together, the place, everything, before you really go to look for stuff. You can always go to look just to scout things out, like to see like what you're looking for, stuff like that. But housing goes so fast here. So that's one of the reasons why we secured this home before we moved here. Also, we've been to Bangkok before. So we've been to Bangkok in 2022. And interestingly enough, the village, the community that we're in, we were very close by here in 2022. Not where we stayed at, but we did this local Thai cooking class. And the host had, she took us to like this local market, and she took us to the home where we did the local Thai cooking class. And when we pulled this home up on the map, it was very familiar. And what sold us is as well is that it was not too far from True Digital Park, which is like this plaza mall, but it like has everything there, like literally everything there. It has like really nice co-working spots and spaces and just anything you can think of really is there. And also what sold us as well is the local market. We wanted to be able to just walk to a market where we can get fresh fruits, vegetables, food, all of that stuff. So where we live is walking distance from that, or we can jump on a tuk-tuk and be there in like 2 minutes. And so we were kind of already familiar with the area because we've already been here. So that's why we decided to secure it, because it's a nice spot. It's a beautiful home and everything. And we knew the house would have still been here if we waited until we got to Bangkok. And also because we have our baby, things are just a little bit different. Like, if it was just me or just my husband and I, we can kind of like free ball it, whatever. Like, just come here, jump in an Airbnb for 2 weeks and everything. But we wanted to just settle. We were ready to settle. We wanted to, because mind you, before we came to Thailand, we went to Bali first for about a month, while we were, finalizing our visa stuff, because we didn't want to stay in the U.S. We didn't want to give the U.S. another month for a time. So we're like, we love Bali. Let's go to Bali, in the meantime. So we went there in the meantime. We went to Jakarta to finalize everything. And so because we knew we were going to be in Bali and then we're going to be in Jakarta, it's like change of scenery, Airbnb, all of these things. We didn't want to come to Thailand for just a week or 2 weeks in an Airbnb again with all our stuff. It's not like, okay, we just brought one suitcase. Okay, we brought like 6 suitcases because we were literally moving at this point. And so we didn't want to do that all over again, just to go into an Airbnb for like 6 weeks and then try to set up like a little, baby crib and bed and all that stuff, just to then move officially into a place. So that's one of the reasons why we just decided to secure the home. Actually, we secured it when we were in Bali, not before we left the US. We wanted to secure the place before we got here. We got off that plane and we booked our Grab. The Grab took us right to our home. That's going to be our long-term home, rather than it being an Airbnb to then move again. But again, if you're new to a place, if you've never been to a place before, just book an Airbnb for a couple of weeks and scout the place out, see how you like it, see how it is at night, see if you like the neighborhood, see what you think, if it's safe, all those things, and then decide where you want to move. But when it comes to finding like a realtor or finding houses in Bangkok, you can go on a place called Fazwaz. It kind of looks like a Zillow. It's like FAZWAZ. And you can also use Facebook Marketplace. If I'm not mistaken, I think we found our realtor, she's phenomenal. Facebook Marketplace, there is always groups like Thailand groups. If you're looking to go to Bali rent groups. Even if you're looking to go to a place for a couple months or a month, you can find expat groups on Facebook and find like realtors and all that. Okay, so that's what I suggest. Just look in these Facebook groups to find local realtors and find housing. Like, you'll be surprised of the types of housing, quality of housing that you can find. Okay, so what did I say? Yeah, Fazwaz and Facebook Marketplace for browsing homes and realtors. All right. Okay, so if you're new here, because I see the numbers kind of like fluctuating, going up. Hello, I'm Shibivia. On this channel, I share a lifestyle, side hustle, and business gems that can help you improve the quality of your life and business. And today I'm sharing steps that you can take to move abroad, how you can better prepare yourself to move abroad. And I'm sharing my experience, my personal experience with moving abroad. I'm currently living in Bangkok, Thailand with my family, a dream come true. And I'm just here sharing my experience with you all. Let me know where you are chiming in from, where you are from. Say hi, hello. And somebody says, let's see, somebody says, the real shorty. The real shorty says, hi, late to the live. Thanks for the chat. Great topic. I think back and forth all the time about moving to Japan. Okay. Definitely strongly. Have you been there before? Let me know if you've been there before. You should definitely consider moving to Japan. You always hear great things about Japan. Let me just, yeah, you always hear great things about Japan. Japan is an Asian country, and so they're just fully equipped. Like anything that you can think of, Japan has it. The Japan is like literally living in the future. Um, so you should definitely consider going there. I did hear something about you're happy for. Thank you. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. It's been a journey, I tell you. I did hear something about like if you could like weird how they do it though, to how if you're trying to quit, it's like you can't really quit or something like that. Like you need a facilitator or somebody to quit for you. That's what I've been hearing. I don't know how true that is, but it may not affect you, sis. Okay, you may be doing a remote job or something like that. But yeah, if you've been considering going to Japan, definitely try it out. I say to people, it doesn't matter where you're from, where you were born, strongly consider moving to another country or visiting another country for at least a month. At least a month to get a different perspective and see how it is. Because when we're from a place and all we know is this place, this culture, we think that's what life is and this is what the entire world is like. Or that, especially in America, we're brainwashed to think that it's not any better elsewhere. Like, how can it be better? Like, we're the best. Definitely, do your research and travel. Travel abroad, see what life is like elsewhere. And I'm telling you, I can guarantee you already that you're gonna find this level of peace and serenity the second you step foot out of the US. And interestingly, I used to think that it's, just me, like my I had a brain, but I used to think that I don't know, it's just a mental thing. It's just a mental thing. Like whenever I left the US, I felt so much better. But I've heard a lot of people say the same thing. And I'm like, oh, it's not just me. I'm not crazy. Like whenever I leave the US, it's like less chaotic. I feel at peace. It's kind of like when you go on vacation, right? You're, in a job, you work a job, whatever, you go on vacation for maybe 7 days, 3 nights, 2 weeks, whatever. It's too short, right? You're like, oh, I gotta go back to work. I gotta go back to this reality. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Since I left the US for this long, and when that was the longest I've spent outside of America since I moved to America. So I was actually born and raised in Jamaica, and next time I'll probably share why Jamaica was not on our list to go back to, to move abroad to right now. But anyway, I was born and raised in Jamaica, migrated to the US in 2013. And the first time I spent an entire month outside the US, I was, always traveling to different countries, here, there, all the time, especially as a flight attendant too. I traveled a lot as a flight attendant, and just also on leisure time, I traveled a lot, all over the world. And so the first time I spent like an entire month outside of America since being here was in 2022. That's when we went to Bali, Indonesia, and Bangkok. And let me tell you, I'm not even gonna kid you guys. It was the most therapeutic experience of my entire life. Every time I think about it, y'all, I get emotional. Every time I think about it, I get emotional because my mental health, like my mind was just going crazy at that time. It was right after I had quit my job, my dream job, my flight attendant job. What was the best decision for me, but it was also hard. Okay, just because you not because you lose something, or somebody walks out of your life, or you walk away from a job, or you lose a job, or whatever, that is toxic for you, whether it's toxic or just not in interest or no longer serves you, you're not going to grieve that thing. You still will grieve that thing, the loss of that thing. And so I grieved walking away from my job. It's something that I thought about for an entire year. It was time. I was ready to walk away from this job, even though it was my dream job. And so in September, I submitted my resignation. In October, we were in Bali for an entire month. Okay. And let me tell you guys, that was one of the most therapeutic experiences in my entire life. I get emotional when I think about it, honestly. I get so emotional because it just gave me this different perspective. I was like, I'm choking up. I can't believe I'm choking up on this live. Oh my goodness. Um, it just really taught me how to slow down and just look at life differently, like connected with and everything. They were some of the sweetest, most genuine people ever. And a lot of these people, they um, didn't make a lot of money. They didn't make a lot of money. I don't know why I'm so emotional. Oh my goodness, girl. Anyway, they didn't make a lot of money, but they were still so happy, and just some of the nicest people. And would go out of their way to help you without expecting anything from you. And it just gave me such a different perspective about life. And I was more in tune with myself. Uh, Spiritually, I was able to, like, connect more with God. Truthfully, I was so busy. I got so busy and all these things. And so I just was able to really reconnect with like nature and everything. Also, when we screwed up and we didn't have SIM cards, right? Oh my god, let me just think at my eyes real quick, y'all. Because anyway, so what had happened was we we should have got the SIM cards right when we landed at the airport, but we didn't. So we were like, oh, we're gonna get it locally. And so I think we tried getting it locally, but I think our phones at the time, yeah, because we didn't have dual SIM phones yet. We bought these new phones when we came to Thailand that was already locked, had dual SIM. So, but anyway, that wasn't the case then. So we couldn't really get a SIM card. And so that meant we had no data while we were out. So if we were out at the beach or at a day club or wherever, just out and about, we were forced to be present. Y'all, we didn't even have Google. That was so bad. We didn't even have like Google Maps. So if we had a driver and everything, it was just a hot mess. But we didn't even have that. So we were forced to be fully present in the moment until we like got back to like our villa, or if we were at like a cafe or wherever that would have Wi-Fi. So it forced me to be fully present in the moment. I wasn't focused on posting a story on Instagram or posting I wasn't focused on any of that, or checking, yeah, like checking Facebook, checking Instagram, stuff like that. I wasn't worried about that because I was just focused on being in the present. And when I tell you, it was the most therapeutic experience of my entire life. Y'all, I almost bought land there. I almost bought land there. Let me see what somebody said. I have never been abroad. Okay, somebody says, I have never, well, the real shorty, Keo, says, I have never been abroad. I have studied cultures, laws, rules, people overseas for years. You think I have? I just, oh, that's amazing. That's amazing that you've studied all of that. That is amazing. I love to know where you're from, like where you live. yeah, you should definitely consider moving abroad. And then you also said should be common knowledge to place to know this. Yeah, you should definitely consider your options, friend, and move abroad for sure. You should, or just visit, especially some of those places that you've been studying. Just visit and see, you know, what life is. But I'd love to know where you're from, by the way. Um, but yeah, y'all, it was one of the most therapeutic experiences of my entire life. And yeah, I almost bought land there. We were looking at some land, and I was this close. Y'all don't even know I was this close to buying land because I was like, I love this place. I fell in love with Bali. I was my most feminine self. Like when I'm in America, I'm like going hard, like hustle. And I've been learning to slow down. Um, Now I've realized that rest is actually a form of productivity, and it's very important to rest. And so in Bali, I was able to be my most like feminine self. I was able to embrace my femininity. And I was like, I love this place. I have to figure out how we can move here, buy property here, whatever, do all the things. And so I guess 2 years later, now we're here. We're not in Bali. We're just in Bali, but we're close enough. Bali's only a 4-hour flight from Bangkok, which is super cool. So we can go back and forth. So, yeah, I just wanted to share that experience. So much on this list of things to know. I've already been on this live for like an hour. Wait, let me see how long I've been on this live. An hour, 30 minutes. So the guide, I have the guide in the comments, the free guide. Just get the free guide. It will go over everything that I was talking about in this live about things to know about moving abroad, how you can land remote jobs fast in order to move abroad so that you can have income coming in. You can do side hustles, y'all. You can do remote side hustles. You can, if you're good at anything, like consulting, whatever, you can start a Fiverr account, an Upwork account, and be a freelancer. You can you can start a YouTube channel. I always kind of forget to share that aspect of things when I do YouTube as well. And so I think YouTube is a great way to grow any business. So if you already have a business or you're trying to grow a business, start a YouTube channel and start talking about that business. You can start monetizing before you can monetize on YouTube because you're selling a product, because you're selling coaching, consulting, because you have a business that you want people to know about. Okay, you can build an audience of people who like and trust you here on YouTube and send those people from YouTube to your business. That's one of the ways, honestly, that I've grown, some of my businesses, from selling digital products, online courses. I've gotten some of my high ticket clients, from YouTube as well. And so YouTube can open the door to so many things, so many other things. So afraid to talk in front of a camera. It can be weird a little bit because sometimes I'm looking up here. I'm like, should I look in the camera? Should I look at the screen? Should I look at me? But you'll get past all that. Like once you've done it a couple of times, you'll get past all of that. Okay. Somebody says, similar to look at a home, similar to look at a home in US but abroad. I'm loving your chat. Sounds peaceful. Oh, well, I'm happy that it sounds peaceful. I feel peaceful. And you live in Tennessee, USA. Cool, cool. Okay. And she said, make sure everyone here like the live. Yes, thank you. You hear that? Make sure that you go ahead and like this live and subscribe to the channel. Why do I have a southern accent now? Yeah, make sure that you like the live, subscribe to the channel so that when I post new videos, you'll hear from me. Okay. Thank you, friend. Thanks for shouting that out. Okay. And also, since you did that, let me share this this little slider thing. This is so cool. This is so cool. I need to do live more often. It says, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, that little ribbon thing. I always see people do that live, and I'm like, that's so cool. How do they do that? I'm using Restream. So if you're ever wondering how to go live on YouTube, you can use Restream, and yeah, it's super cool. But so if you have any questions, so let me know in the comments. Okay. On this channel, again, I share lifestyle stuff. So especially with living abroad, I find that I have more things to share. You know, my life was kind of boring, but in the US, but I mean, I was still grateful. I was still very grateful and everything. I made the most out of it. But I feel like life is more interesting and more exciting here. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like I can literally go down the street to True Digital Park, walk around. Like it's just so much more exciting here. And then you get better experiences for even less. And if you want to pay a premium, you can do that too. So with living here in Southeast Asia, you get the best of both worlds. Just live frugally, you can do that. If you want to buy champagne and whatever you eat, caviar, steak, lobster, whatever, you can do that too at one of the highest like rooftop bars in Bangkok, like skylight views, whatever. You can do that too. So there's a lot of experiences that you can have here. But honestly, y'all, what was I saying? I get off topic a little bit, but what I was saying was I feel like my life is more interesting here, and also we have better support here. Y'all don't understand how it means so much to me. Like every day I'm like so grateful, and I'm like thankful to God. Thankful to God for the support system that we have cultivated. We don't have like a huge like support system or anything like that, but we have, at least now we have uh, a nanny here that Cairo now loves and trusts. And honestly, our son, he's always been in our little bubble, right? Since he was born, it was literally just my husband and I, my husband and I. And when my husband would go to work, when we were in the US during the days, it would just be my son and I, which is beautiful. I'm actually grateful that I had that option and had the opportunity to be home fully with my son. I didn't have to take him anywhere else or anything like that. But he is so used to his little like safe space, mom, dad, And so when other people would come around, he would freak out, y'all. He would immediately start crying when he sees any stranger in our house. A lot of times outside, I notice he doesn't really do that when we are out somewhere and people be like, hi, or whatever. Sometimes he would, but it's mostly if someone would come within our proximity, close space, like nothing else is happening around, he would freak out and cry. And so that's one of the reasons why I'm happy that this could go both ways, but happy that he didn't have to like go elsewhere, and I wouldn't be there to like help calm him down, calm his nerves and everything. But anyway, I said that to say now we have a nanny where it's literally just so amazing, because to see his growth as well. When he first met, he was a little, of course, he was always crying, blah blah blah, that first day. But we were at home, especially too, those 3 days to make sure that he was used to her. And by day 3, he was used to her. He was always playing with her, and now he loves Kushi. And it makes me so happy that there's another individual that he likes and trusts outside of us. And it's good for interaction as well. It's good for his development. She teaches him Thai and everything. And I love how I love the synchronicity and how much more harmonious our household is because that additional support. Because again, it was just my husband and I. We didn't have family like in Dallas, and or so it's just not set up that way to where you have, grandma, mom, niece, sister, whoever to, watch your child for the weekend, for a couple weeks, for a day. We had none of that. It was like literally just my husband and I. So, from birth. So it's nice now to have that level of support to where my husband and I can go to the dentist together and know that, Cairo is in a, safe space, in good hands. He's at home. We can check in on him and, see what's happening, make sure that he's okay, and he's just not somewhere where we don't know what's happening and everything, and not feel like we have to bring him every place. Because if you have a baby, especially if it's hot outside, if you're trying to take care of business, right? You love your babies. We adore our son. We love him. But not every environment is conducive to have your baby with you all the time. So now my husband and I we can have lunch dates now. Now my husband and I have been able to go get couples massages. Like, how can you be in Thailand and not get a massage? That's another thing I love about Thailand, y'all. Getting a massages is going to be a part of your weekly routine, okay? The amount of money that it costs to get one massage in the US, you can get a massage maybe every single week, maybe twice a week here in Thailand, and it still doesn't even cost the amount of money that it costs for one massage. I'm not even making this up, y'all. It's true thing, like seriously. Anyway, gotta love it. But anyway, yeah, I love that my husband and I can now go get massages together, couples massages. If we want to have date night now, y'all, do you know my husband and I, since we had our baby, right? We had 3 date nights, where we actually left the house without our baby. One day I was confused. I was like, the first time, this was 7 months postpartum or 6 months postpartum. And shout out to my friend, Corin, you know yourself. Actually, she volunteered to watch a baby Cairo for us. That was such a blessing. And I didn't know what to do with myself one of the times because I was confused. I was like, am I leaving something? I'm pretty. And then I sat on the wrong side of the car. It was a hot mess because I was just so used to all these months just always having our baby with us, and so that was a nice little break. But now, y'all, we get to kind of do that more regularly, which is so important for us as a couple, because when you're married, at the end of the day, sorry, let's see what the comments are saying. Yeah, right. Other countries have such longer, supported maternity. Yeah, there's a lot of countries who they will literally give you 6 months or something like that. I've heard of one country who they give men as well long maternity leaves, more than the 2 weeks that they're giving men now. Men are an integral. Men should also get a decent amount of maternity leave as well. Their parents too, they need to be there to support the moms and all of that stuff. So yeah, we can get into that, honey. And yeah, thank you. Definitely. Let me tell you, I'm not even gonna kid you not, you guys. Since we've left America, I feel okay, I've been on here 1 hour 49 minutes. I'm not gonna go past 2 hours and 10 minutes for this live. Let me try not to do that because I can talk all day, and I haven't been live in so long. So I feel it's we're besties right now, and I feel I'm catching you guys up my whole life story. So that's exactly. Wait. Oh, yeah. I had the wrong thing up. So that is awesome. Massages are good for your health. Date night is great. You need all that again. All that for y'all. Thank you. Yes, massage is so good. Like whenever I get a massage, I feel so relaxed. And like my tension is like really like I feel so good since I've been here because I've gotten so many massages I can't even tell you. Like if we go to Chinatown, we're gonna get a massage. I mean, come on, it's like $7, $7 US for like a foot and shoulder massage, or you can get a full body massage for $10, maybe $15. My husband and I got facials for like $15. I'm talking like when they were done, my face felt so clean. They did the whole suction thing, they did the steaming thing. Y'all, it was $15. No more than that, at least for us each. Do you understand? Do you know how much it costs to do a facial in the US? Right? So yeah, I know I'm putting emphasis on this cost of living thing, but hey, it's a big part of why a lot of people move here, why we move here. But it's not just the cost, like I said, it's the quality, you guys, the quality, the experience, the love, the community, the the authenticity that you get here, you know? So anyway, yeah, so my husband and I now have been able to let me change this. Let me just change this real quick. My husband, yeah, so download my free Thailand guide. If you're just joining, I shared a free Thailand guide in the comments. Feel free to download that. It's going to help you better position yourself to moving abroad, especially to Thailand, but you can apply it to pretty much anywhere you're going. A lot of the things you can apply. It has my free remote work guide in there too. Okay, so you can see how you can land remote jobs fast so that you can earn money while you're living abroad, and all the good stuff. Okay, all the good stuff. Because you guys are here on the live, you get it for free. In the future, I may be selling it, so get it for free. And so since I've moved here, I've literally felt like I've been on a vacation. I don't know if because it's still new. They say it's like the honeymoon phase. But here is why I feel like it feels like I've been on a vacation since I left the US. Okay. Well, number one, and also in Bali too, when we went to Bali, we had a nanny there as well. Maria, shout out to her. She was phenomenal. I'm sorry that we didn't have her here too, but our nanny here that we have, y'all, she's so amazing. She's literally God sent. Well, let me tell you why I feel like I'm on a vacation now. For one, because we have that additional support, right, in our home. She's not living. I didn't really want a live-in, at least at this season of our life. Maybe if we decide to have another baby or when, and you need that postpartum support, that all of that, maybe at that time, but right now it's not really necessary, right? Our son goes to bed super early. He's very predictable. He sleeps for like 12 hours, so we didn't really need live-in nanny, but we knew we needed like a day-to-day support, and it's been very helpful because it has helped me to get back into kind of feeling like myself again. I don't want to be too overly go overly crazy like how I used to when it comes to like grinding, being in grind mode, but I still want to feel like myself, like feel like I'm still pursuing my passions, pursuing the things that I actually like to do, the things that I love doing. Even here on YouTube, I've been able to plan better, have time to like that I would like to do. I've been able to work on my business. I have a lending business as well. So I've been able to just have time to do those things, and also decide, hey, if I want to leave the house for a few hours to go work or have lunch with my husband, or, date night, stuff like that, whatever, we can do that. And also with having a nanny, the nannies here, they consider themselves nanny maids. That's what they consider themselves here. So they also help you with household stuff, which we didn't really expect, because I was like, I wanted our nanny to just focus on, Cairo and everything, of course, playing with him and all of that. But they do more. A lot of times they do more. So they will help you with household stuff. Like our nanny, she's like a superwoman. And I guess the thing is, I have to understand too, is that she is like, they're coming to work. So, when you show up to work, you're just like work mode. You're not cleaning your house when you're at work. You're not folding clothes when you're at work. You're literally focused on work. So I think that's how she's able to like do so much. So it's like when baby boy is like taking his naps. Yo, this lady, Kushi is so amazing. Kushi, if you're watching this right now, because I know the other day she's subscribed to my YouTube channel, which is super cool and funny. But let's see what somebody said. Uh, somebody said, oh, hey, Sheena. Oh, Sheena, I didn't realize it was you. I knew that it's probably super expensive here. Yeah, massages can get expensive. It's gonna cost you at least, I would say maybe 120. Maybe if you go to one of those like Thai massage places, maybe you can get a 60-minute for like, I got a decent 60-minute for maybe $60, but it's still like expensive in here. I'm gonna finish what I'm saying really quickly before I log off here. But the real Shorty Q said, I definitely will be going back to look at your whole live. I just pulled up the guide. Thank you. You are welcome. Yeah, you are welcome. Um, yeah, Kushi, if you're watching this or if you come across this video, thank you. Thank you for being in our lives. Yeah, I was saying that the other day she subscribed to my channel. It's kind of funny. But thank you for being in our lives. Like truly, I truly appreciate you. And I got emotional the other day too. I was like, God, thank you. Like this is the type of support that we needed. And I'm so grateful to have that. Like literally when he's sleeping, she folds clothes. That's one of the things that I actually don't like to do. I don't mind doing laundry, putting the laundry separately, the colors, blah, 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 put it in a washing machine and stuff like that. But when it comes to folding clothes and folding clothes, that's one of the things that I don't really like to do that much. And I said, like literally, God hears. He hears the desires of our hearts. He hears us. Okay, I truly believe that, and I really do believe that when you put your desires out there in the atmosphere, in the universe, God hears that. Okay, and so I used to say, I would love to just have somebody that just folds my clothes. I would say, I don't mind doing laundry, but man, if somebody could just fold my clothes, right? And so, and now it's not just me, it's my husband's clothes and then our baby's clothes. And when we were in Jakarta, Indonesia, we were paying to have our clothes, our laundry washed because it was so affordable. It was like maybe $6 to have a, and in Bali too. Because one of the places that we were staying at in Bali didn't have any washer and dryer, so it just made sense to have them. And they would come pick it up, y'all. See, that's the type of luxury service that you get in Southeast Asia that you don't really get in the US. Okay, there is this thing now in the US called Poplin or whatever, where the people they come pick it up. We tried that service before. It was like $40 or something. They'll come pick it up, drop it back. It will be nicely folded. Here in Southeast Asia, you can get that same service too, but for way less, like $6 US dollars to have them wash your clothes nicely, okay, and fold it perfectly, like prestigiously. All you have to do is put it away. So we were doing that in Bali. And so I used to say, man, I wish somebody would just fold my clothes. And I have that now because she's so amazing. Whenever he's sleeping, if I did laundry, she fold those clothes so fast. By the time I turn around, those clothes done, fold, and she cleans as well. I was thinking, oh, maybe I would love to hire like a cleaner to at least clean once a week because this is a big space. It's a big house. And it's like 4 bathrooms, 3 full bathrooms, 1 half, and like 3. And I don't know if I shared how much we pay for this house, y'all, but just know that it's a fraction of what it will cost to live in a house like this in the US, renting a house like this. There's no way, especially in 2024, we'd be paying what we pay for to live in a house like this, okay? We're gonna do the whole condo thing because I like the idea of the convenience of maybe like a 7-Eleven downstairs. That's how a lot of the condos are here, a 7-Eleven or a store downstairs, and then also there's like the gym and stuff like that, saunas. And I was like, oh, that would be cool to just be able to just walk down the hall or take the elevator to the gym. But based on our family dynamics, and I was expecting that we're gonna have help in the house, we just kind of wanted like a bigger space with the, and then also I'm kind of paranoid. I don't like the idea of my only escape route is like for example, if I'm like on the 7th floor or something, I don't like the idea of if there's like this huge fire or something, I have to now go down stairs, like 7 stories of stairs, because you can't use an elevator. There's a fire or an earthquake or something, right? You have to like go downstairs. So I don't know. I think about those things. I'm kind of paranoid, and I don't like the idea of. I just don't like the idea of living in very tall buildings. Again, it's just me being paranoid, but it's also, being practical as well. But also the layout, I was thinking that the most you can get in I think a condo is maybe like a 3-bedroom here, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, work for us, baby boy's room or room, and like an extra room. My husband works remotely, so it would be nice to have that extra room and stuff. But still, I felt like it would be a little bit too tight still. So that's why we're just like, let's just do a house, just get a house. And yeah, it's way less than what it would cost. But anyway, what I was saying to myself, oh, I may have to get a cleaner every week. Yo, I really don't really have to, because every other day, as long as Kushi's here and she's gonna sweep, she's gonna mop, clean, she's gonna like literally wash down the bathroom. Like she cleans for real. She cleans for real, and I'm like, wow. And so that's why anytime I can, I'll like give her extra and stuff, because I love her work ethics. She's so amazing. And so yeah, it's just nice to have that. So what I was saying was, I really truly feel like I've been on a vacation since I left, because we don't really cook that much now again. As well, because food is so affordable. You might as well just, it's probably cheaper for you to eat out than to buy groceries all the time to cook. We still always go to the market to get fresh stuff, because our son eats pretty much now just like fruits, veggies, and stuff like that. And we like the idea of always having at least fresh fruits and veggies and stuff like that in the house. Outside of that, really, we don't do any crazy like grocery shopping, because like I said, it's so much more affordable. So think about that. It's so opposite, right? Like in the US, it's like you feel like you have to cook if you're trying to save money, or stuff like that, or you feel guilty because you eat out 5 days per week. Eating out in the US 5 days per week, that's like you're spending at least $20 for yourself. Whenever my husband and I would order something on Uber Eats or DoorDash, whatever, by the time the delivery fee, the tip, all those fees that they add on there, it's like $45. $45. And I would think about that, and I'm like, you know how much groceries we could have got? And here, whenever we go to the market, we don't really spend more than $35 for a whole bunch of fruits and vegetables. You hear me? Okay. I love that. Yo, when we go to the market, we get so much stuff. We get watermelon, we get papaya, we get carrots, just all the things you can think of. And it doesn't usually cost us more than, no, it's actually less than $30 all the time. What am I saying? Because $30 is like 100, no, $30 is like 1,000 Thai baht here. And it always costs us like maybe 600 and something to like 800 and something Thai baht. So it costs us less than 30, but I'll least 35 bucks for like at least a week worth of like fruits and vegetables. So that's the difference. But I'm so grateful. I feel at peace here, and I feel so much more supported. So I feel like now my husband and I can like, because at first we were focused on settling and getting baby boy settled and finding the right nanny for us that integrates well in our household. And so now we've done all that. So now it's time for us to find some like communities, other people we can connect with. I haven't really met up with anyone here since moving here, except for like the locals. I talk to the locals all the time, and that makes such a big difference. It's such a sense of community here. A lot of times the locals, the neighbors would see Kara, or they'll ask about there's like other little babies next door and stuff. And so they'll try to have conversation with me. They'll talk to us. It's the most that I've interacted with my neighbors. The month that we've been here, the 1 month that we've been here, it's the most that I've connected and communicated with neighbors, from the neighbors to the security guards, all that, compared to the 3 years that we've been in Dallas, Texas. I could even throw in the 11 years that I've been in the US, honestly. But I'm just going to say the 3 years that we've been in Dallas is the most that we communicate with people. And the security guards, they look out for us. So we live in like a village community, which is really safe and really nice. And it's gated, y'all. It's a gated private community with 24-hour posts and cameras on like the streets that lead to our home and everything. Y'all would not believe what we pay for this. Okay, so if you've been thinking about leaving the US, do it. Okay, consider it. Do it. So yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap up now because I've been on here for like 2 hours. But it's been great, like really catching up with you guys. And again, if you're new here, if you're just joining, definitely check out that guide. Let me just drop the guide again. It's a free guide, y'all. It's gonna help you with moving abroad, moving to Thailand in particularly, but you can also use it if you're trying to move anywhere. And it also has like a remote there as well. Let me know if you guys have any other questions. Oh, I'm saying, let me put this here. Let me switch it up a bit. So yeah, if you are new here and you want to see more of this, more like lives like this, I'll be sharing like some lifestyle content. Oh, I also, you know what I did the other day? I finally, after 3 years of like being on YouTube, I finally joined Patreon. My husband was like, when are you gonna join Patreon? So I'm finally on Patreon. I don't know how that's gonna go. Didn't really know fully what I was doing, but I finally did it. So if y'all want to be in a closer knit community, it's gonna be like chats, like group chats, stuff like that, behind the scenes stuff, things that I won't be sharing here on YouTube, stuff like that. Probably drop some like resources in there as well for you guys. So definitely check out my Patreon. It's super. It's like the cost of maybe like a coffee or something. It's probably less than that. I don't know. But yeah, check out Patreon. So if you want like more intimate stuff, if you want to like maybe chat with me more regularly, stuff like that, check out my Patreon. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel. All right, if you want to see more content like this, also business content. So I have some videos coming up next week. You're gonna see me in the same outfit for those videos because I just recorded those videos, those 2 videos, and I didn't change. I should have probably changed my outfit for the 2 videos, but I didn't care. I just wanted to get the videos done and over with. But anyway, so you're gonna see me in this same outfit for those 2 videos. It's about business credit and stuff like that, how to get funding for your business, because that's the type of content that I also focus on here on my YouTube channel. I help clients, I help people with building solid business credit, and also how to better position yourself for funding, right? How to properly structure your business and build solid business credit. So that's the type of content that I share here as well on my YouTube channel, and to also see some more kind of like lifestyle content from me, I guess, with like living in Bangkok or living in Thailand and stuff like that. So if you've joined me and you've gone until the end, until this far, you are awesome. You're so awesome. And it was really nice hanging out with you guys today, tonight, your day, my night. Because it's like I'm 12 hours ahead of Central Standard Time. And I think like 11 hours ahead of like Eastern Standard Time. So, yay. Thank you, Sheena. You've been with me, I think, from the beginning of time. From the beginning of time. Thank you for being here. And it was an absolute pleasure sharing this journey with you guys. I felt like I shared a lot with you, but this is what I, want to do more of, to really connect with my audience, to really connect with you guys. So make sure that you download that free guide. Okay, it's free. It may not be free in the future, but this link, because you watch this live, because you're here, you'll have access to that free Move into Thailand guide. Okay. The paid version, it's going to be, maybe I'll add, maybe flush it out way more, but it really doesn't need to be flushed out. All the information is kind of there, and I'll have more graphics, of course, like to make it look pretty for the paid version. So thank you guys for being with me. I've been on here for a long time, and that's because also, yeah, baby boy sleeping and everything. So love y'all, and I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video.